Sana, you are there. So starting with Piyush, आप कौन से courses लेते हैं, आपके subjects क्या हैं? Okay, I think so,
एक
Piyush.
English language lab instructor हूँ BSSS में. Yes, and it's past 7 long years since I have been teaching Queen's English in my college. So there are different streams, and teachers send the students, especially who have the challenging background, especially Hindi background. So all
Okay,
those students are sent to my language lab.
okay. So, doctor, I think so. We will communicate in English. That will be fine. I think so.
Yes, definitely.
Precisely,
Okay.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that is better because basically sometimes, yeah, there are students from different part of the country, and they face some difficulty in understanding uh, Hindi maybe. So I'm more comfortable with English because uh, I'm spending time with students who are, all of them are, and one university are all from English background. So I'm very much comfortable with it. So Piyush, what are your subjects? Astha, can you tell me something about your subjects? What you are into?
Um, so I have
So,
my own language lab software.
Okay,
So all the students who come from the different streams, they are provided with the same software. We have different levels of modules to take care of that.
okay, okay,
So that's a part of my work from morning till evening. That's how all of those students just keep on pouring in.
okay, okay,
उसके
okay.
अलावा फिर इंग्लिश फाउंडेशन कोर्स में लेता हूँ. Yeah.
All right, good, good, good. What about you, Astha?
sir, I am a student from Masters of English Literature, and I like drama and poetry like as my subjects. I like both of these subjects a lot.
Okay, good, good, good. And Vishal, what about you?
Good morning, sir.
Morning,
I am a
morning.
student of second year English literature from BSSS College.
Okay. What are the important challenges, I must say, difficulties you being a student, you are facing now? Before we start this session, because definitely it is going to cover this topic, what I am asking you. But as we have time and we can discuss certain things. You being a student, how do you see, and what are your difficulties and problems you face looking at your future entrepreneurship, or you may say for a job hunt? How do you see it? Like, how do you feel? What are the challenges you feel could be possible for you? Everybody has its own, challenges in life. And as I always tell my students that remove this word problem from your dictionary. Instead of that, you take it like as challenges. Once you take a word, something in life as a problem, it doesn't give you much space to think unnecessarily. It creates anxiety in a person. So always think in terms of challenges. Problem is a different thing. A challenge is a different thing. When you see something related to your future jobs or future entrepreneurship, I will give you my brief introduction once we start the session. But before that, if anyone who feels like they are having some kind of challenges, they think still they don't have a clarity on what to do, in terms of your jobs or in terms of your careers. So we can discuss. We have some time till. Students always remember one thing that uh, never be shy of 2, 3 things in your life. Okay. One is when you are learning something. When you are learning something, don't be shy of asking. Okay. Because, you know, we shy because sometimes we feel we do a mistake. We can do a mistake. Okay. But doing a mistake is not a mistake. We human beings do mistakes. Not doing a mistake is a mistake, because it's not possible for anyone, you cannot do mistakes. And the biggest thing is we keep on repeating the mistakes, then it becomes blunders. So don't feel shy when you're learning something. And secondly, don't feel shy when you start your own business, because when you're going to start your business, you will going to you will going to do small things, uh, and that will going to sometimes feel you, oh, this is a small job, why I'll do this. So after doing a job in a company on a senior level, sometimes you might take up your entrepreneurship uh, dream you want to fulfill. During that time, sometimes it happens we feel, how can I go and collect a check from my client? Now, being an entrepreneur, you basically have to remove all these kind of thinkings. So first of all, don't feel shy and hesitant when you are learning something. So these are two important things that it's very important for you, that you uh, should ask now, because this session is purely based on uh, you know how I can uh, inform you, tell you, discuss with you what challenges you are facing, and I can help you in solving it. So being entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, uh, you know, you might be definitely having a lot of dreams, but it's not so easy. There are, a lot of things you have to do when you're preparing for your entrepreneurship or for your jobs. Now, for example, Amazon is saying that, there will be some jobs in thousands in the coming months. How you should prepare for that? Because let me tell you that I do have my own recruitment company, human resources and recruitment company. So this is my daily kind of a routine job. Now I'm not that much into that. My staff is looking. So how you should make your CV for a particular job, I'm telling you. Okay, now by this time you might be knowing how to make your CV. But what I'm trying to tell you, that suppose there is a job opening with Amazon. Now Amazon, for example, will going to search for a job of, say, suppose in case 1,000 jobs. Now, what do you think in a pan India level? How many students, how many working people are going to apply for such a big global name? For 1,000 job in this present scenario, I think so at least 300,000 people, 300,000 could be a very conservative, a defensive figure. It could be more also. So just imagine the ratio. The first step is your CV. Now, whatever job you are posting your CV, you should put some very important keywords. Now, being a recruiter, when I search on a search engine of, say, XYZ job portal, we take job portals on a rental basis. And when we search on those portals, we put some keywords. So the search engine pulls those CVs, based on the keywords. Now, suppose in case you want to apply for a company like Amazon, who are into e-commerce, and Amazon may be there are many jobs. It's not only related to digital marketing, creating artworks, content writing. many other, maybe as for supply chain management, purchases could be there, accounts could be there, collection of returns could be possible. So you have to basically somewhere focus on certain areas and be prepared. If somebody asks you, okay, Amazon का नाम सुना, हमने सुना ये online e-commerce business है, and we can basically apply only for one position. So you should be knowing first of all what kind of a job you want to know, you want to do, and should be have a clarity on this. This is very important. So accordingly, you make your CV, and don't do mistakes in making your CV. Like there could be some mistakes, but I will suggest that nowadays people are selling CVs. I will still suggest you, being a recruiter, that you make your own CV. And your CV basically, well, this is not the time where I should be discussing you how to make a CV in details. But as we have time before we start, so I just want to utilize it. And this is very important for you. So being a student, your CV should, what should be the content of it? So
So,
yes, doctor, shall we start?
good afternoon and welcome. Good morning, everybody here, and welcome to this session today. Sorry, sir, I'm just interrupting you, taking you away from your students with whom you are chatting for so long, and it seems they've already started enjoying your session. So I welcome each one here for this session today, and it's going to be really interesting. It seems the weather also seems to support us with that pleasant rain. So we are in for a very interesting session, as everybody knows. This is about skills, and skills which are hard to learn but will pay off ever. I'm sure it's going to be really useful and interesting for everybody. Welcome, Dr. Aftab, here to our session, and thankful we are to you for this time which you have spared for us. I would now request the head of the department of English department to welcome you officially for this session. Ma'am,
Very
Shivani ma'am.
warm good afternoon, Dr. Aftab Ahmed. Um, Believe me, sir, I have been repeating the title of your session today so many times in the morning, and it actually sounds so good. Skills that are hard to learn but will pay off ever. And by the initial discussion, I could catch the essence of the entire thing, what it is going to be like. So, on behalf of the Department of English of the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, I extend a warm and hearty welcome to you, sir, and a token of gratitude as well for giving your kind consent to take this wonderful session with our students today. I'm sure that students, not only the students, even we, the faculty members, we are going to benefit a lot out of it. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, Zora ma'am, you can take up now.
Yes, so once again, a hearty welcome to this session, and I'll just take a minute to introduce Dr. Aftab to the participants here. And he's a resource person for today's session, as we all know, has a rich experience of over 25 years in managing diversified corporates, HRs, and management consultancies. And he has a PhD in consumer behavior and has headed many operations, especially the one at the UAE, and it was about a business house in Oman. Presently working as visiting faculty in Ajman University. Dr. Aftab has been a passionate mentor, coach, and guide to many youngsters. We have seen a glimpse of this just now. Within these 5 minutes, we know how passionate he is about his students and the knowledge he can disseminate to them. And has given corporate training and coaching to sales, marketings, HRs, and service departments. Then we are in for a very interesting session, as I said. Over to you, Dr. Aftab.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zora. And at the outset, I'm thankful to the principal of your college, the entire faculty, and all of you for being with me here. And it's a great pleasure, always to discuss and guide, share the knowledge and experiences with you guys. As Dr. Zora has said, I am in UAE in Dubai from almost now 23 years. And I worked with different companies, global companies, the flagship companies, the blue chip companies, which I worked was Samsung Electronics. I worked with them for almost 10 years. I worked with Philips Consumer Electronics, uh, primarily into sales, marketing, distribution, and Citizen, Casio, Konica, and many other brands I worked. But these are the the global brands which And I worked at a senior level in a company as a CEO. At the age of 40, I thought to give up my mainstream job and start my own business. So I gave up my mainstream job and started my own company, which is into human resources and recruitment by the name ACE Management Concepts, which I'm running from almost now 10 years. And at the same time, I was inspired to further pursue my studies, and I did my PhD in consumer behavior, as doctor has said. After that, I started teaching marketing subjects and management subjects, and I found that this is the right thing for me. I was made for this thing. Sometimes we chase the destination and we find in life that destination is waiting for us somewhere else. So life is something what happens to you when you're planning something else. We think we will do like this, but sometimes things happens, and most of the times, there's a saying, life happens to you when you're planning something else. So this is a wonderful journey which I'm enjoying. I'm trying to relate my corporate experience with my students, and I try to make a good interface between the unit of college, like College of Business and students, and the corporates. Because I feel once a student goes to a medical college, I'm giving an example. He basically starts visiting the hospital from the day one when he's doing the dissection. So there's a very strong interface between a hospital and a college, medical college. Daily they have to go. And once they get their degree, it's universal phenomena. It's not related to India. It's universal. Once they get their degree, they're authorized to open a clinic, their own business, or they can do a job. And the same thing applies. Suppose you want to do a flying course, and when you go for a flying course, there's a flying institute, and the instructor himself is a person who has been into flying for 10,000 hours. There's a small airport, and if you do a private pilot license, after getting it, you can fly aircraft. But unfortunately, this is not happening with 70 to 80% of College of Business globally. Now, I started identifying huge gaps. Being a recruiter, being from the corporate, what I need in you guys, if I'm a general manager or a CEO and I'm running a company and I want to take your interviews, what kind of things I need in you? Because the thing is, there is a huge gap between somebody who's doing BBA or BA or BSc, and once they go out, there are a lot of confusion. So my job is to make a very strong interface between the students and the corporates. So my today's session will be, I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it, and let's start it now. I'll start with a small presentation, PPT, and I'll going to run across it, and in the end, we will going to have the question answers sessions. So is it visible to you? Can you see it? Okay.
So just
Yes,
give
so
me a
it's coming
minute.
up.
Yeah, just give me a minute, sir.
Sure. I think so. I can see it on my another unit because I always operate from two units, one from my mobile and one from my laptop. Shall we start? Dr. Shibani, can we start now?
Yes, please.
Okay. As we all are very active on the social media platforms, and we know, this is one of the, activities where most of us are involved. Most of the population is active on WhatsApp, then Facebook, then YouTube, then Skype, etc., etc. Instagram is picked up very much. So these are the things which we have, we are mostly active on the social media. Now, this is a scenario which is being changed, in the coming time, that, people from in the corporate will move from hierarchies to hierarchy. Means from a particular kind of a hierarchy, they will going to move into kind of a networking more or less into horizontal kind of a scenario. From job to task, there will be a shift. There is a shift taking place from jobs. The term jobs will be, replaced by the term task. Now, the timing will be more flexible, right, from 8 to 5 to 8 to 4. The timing will be getting reduced in the future. Uh, from microscopes to data scopes. There are a lot of things coming out into data analysis. A future for data analysis is quite promising. From artificial intelligence to machine learning. Now, I would like to tell you here, there will be some terms coming up in my presentation, in my talk, where I would like to suggest you that you please note down these words and you can yourself do a lot of research on that. And that is going to help you a lot because I have to cover a very interesting topics where I may not be able to touch, something which, but I'll tell you, you please go through it and try to, do a research on it. So machine learning is another important thing which is, going to take place from centralized to decentralized. Means offices are more concentrated in a centralized way. They will be decentralized to different areas. From suits to hoodies, the corporate dress is changing now from suits to hoodies in the future, from cubicle to couch. We have seen these things during the pandemic, these things are happening. From free Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi free, people will be trying to engage more themselves away from the, Wi-Fi's and try to enjoy their life as well because that has taken a toll on their health. From thank you, uh, there's a word we call TGIF. Uh, this is like, when we are on the Sundays, we say, okay, thank you very much. It's now Friday coming. Then there is a thank you very much. Now Monday is coming. When people generally are under tremendous pressure of working, once they go to their office on Monday, they don't enjoy. But things will be changing. You will be saying thank you very much. It's Monday now. From services to experience. Now in service industries, things are changing from customer satisfaction to experience. A consumer should have a good experience when he is buying something. From one carrier to many carriers, multiple carriers. A person who is doing one job might be doing something during the weekends in digital marketing or some kind of other work. And so this is also picking up. The trends are picking from one carrier to other carriers. From green is red to green is green. We will be moving more on the environmental kind of sustainability. From mass produced to me produced, we will be moving to products which will be more customized. Now, this is a very important part where entrepreneurship comes into roles. Like, we have to look into things where we can customize things for the consumers. From recycling to circular economies, I will like to suggest you please go through this word circular economy, which is again a latest word which is coming, further ahead of recycling. They want to avoid the waste into it completely, in circular economy. Now, from retired to retired, you will be thinking like, at 60, I'll be retired. But again, you will be involved in some kind of job, some kind of activities. People are really thinking from CEO to CEO, the women empowerment. We will going to see a lot of females, women coming up into the jobs in the future. Now, here we start from your campus to your corporate and professional life. You will be very soon moving out from your beautiful campus to corporates or to your businesses, because in life we have to basically do something, for achieving a livelihood. Either we have to do a job or we have to run a business. So we have two choices. Most of us, I must say 60% of us, we dream to become entrepreneurs. Okay, doing a job is also a great thing I have done. And if even in the future I get a good break somewhere, I'll come back to my jobs. So that is also open. So we will going to see here, how skills, what kind of skills we will be needing. What are the trends coming up? Now, in the future, I'm quoting you here from World Economic Forum. You please Google it. What is World Economic Forum? They have given a data like by the year 2025, 50% of the employees, they would be doing reskilling. Now, here I would like to tell you what is the difference between reskilling and upskilling. Suppose in case there's an accounts department in the company, and your chief accountant comes and tells you that now we would be moving from, say, one accounting package, say, Tally, to say Oracle. Oracle is, highly advanced version. I'm just giving an example. It's highly advanced ERP we call as enterprise resource planning. So in that case, the accounts department will say, okay, now you have to basically do your upskilling. You were in accounts doing this, you have to upskill. We will be able to provide you a training. But the more serious concern for all of us, now there's a study done by Harvard, and they have said like uh, any degree or diploma you're holding now, I'm telling you with, this is a fact based on my experience as well as on the research. Any degree or diploma you're holding now may not guarantee you after 4 years or 5 years. Even our degree and diploma, what that university is saying, may not be guaranteeing you to have a stable job, permanent job. So what you have to do now, you have to keep on reskilling. Reskilling means that you are working in a company and upskilling. I think so it's clear with you. You have to upgrade your skilling. Reskilling means you're working in a company where all of a sudden there's a COVID and you have to basically teach from home. Now you have to learn a new skill, how to teach from home. Teaching from the class was there. Now, related to it, there are a lot of things. You have to reskill into IT. You have to reskill. I was teaching in a campus in the university. Just, we were teaching as we used to teach. All of a sudden, there was something we have to learn more. I'm just giving you reskilling means suppose a person is working in a company as a security guard. Okay, now the company has said, okay, we are going to put CCTV cameras. We're going to put biometric systems. Now your job is getting redundant. We don't need somebody physically standing at the four corners of the office and monitoring the movements of the people. We have the cameras. Now, what that person will do, he has to completely reskill himself. So I would like to suggest you that you have to understand now, because I'm telling you with full responsibility, because being into recruitment, being into corporate, things are changing very fast. You have to change your mindset that you have to keep on learning throughout your life. If suppose in case we procrastinate the things, we delay the things, we're going to land up in job losses, business losses. Even now in agriculture industry, even the farmers, they will be learning a lot of skills related to the tech. Now, technology is a thing which we all have to learn. And this is a figure which is given by World Economic Forum, that 50% of the jobs will require completely reskilling. So this is something very important for us to, first of all, accept that we have to be a learner throughout the life. These are the job scenarios, again, by World Economic Forum. You can Google World Economic Forum after the session and you can go see all these slides I have downloaded from these few slides from there. The job scenarios will be emerging in the top 10 emerging industries, and there will be 133 million jobs by next year. And there would be at least 75 million jobs going down. There will be job losses. So I'll just read out what will be the emerging job in the future, which is related to data analysis and scientists, artificial intelligence and machine learning, general and operation managers, software and application developers, analysts, sales and marketing professionals, big data scientists, digital transformation, new technology specialists, organizational development specialists, information technology services. Now, this is important, but the more important is the down, because you should not land up into a field which is going to evaporate slowly in the coming time, like data entry clerks, accountants, bookkeepings and payroll clerks, administrative and executive secretaries, assembly and factory workers, which will be taken by the AI, client information and customer service workers, accountants and auditors, postal services is already gone. So important thing is that you please be very careful if you land up into, a job which will going to become redundant after some time. You have to be careful. Now, these are the skills which is again given by World Economic Forum, because if an international body publish a data based on research throughout the country, throughout the world, it is accepted because this is published by a very professional company, which is these are the skills. And I'm sure somewhere down in your course in these 2 3 years in your BBA in your university in your different curriculums, you would have seen these skills. Someone would have told you, I'm sure, but it's just a reminder initially which I'm sharing with you. So it basically engraves, imbibed, entrenched in your memory that you take these things very seriously. Now let's look what are the skills here. Each and every skill is something specialized. As the topic says, skills which are hard to learn but going to pay off you ever. There are more skills coming which are more important than this, which I feel these skills are definitely very important, like analytical thinking and innovation. You have to really see out of these 10 skills where do you fit in, where you can develop yourself. Developing all 10 might be difficult. It is possible. See, let me tell you something today before I go ahead. If you want to, somebody asked me, Dr. Aftab, how can I discover my passion or my talent? I am giving you some tips how you can discover your talent. See, always remember that 5 things today. If somebody is doing some work, even playing, doing painting, singing, whatever, because we have Lata Mangeshkar, who is an iconic singer. We have a lot of, we have seen recently in the Talent India, Indian Idol, how the talent is there. So what I'm trying to tell you here, if you want to discover your talent in yourself, how you can discover the talent in yourself? It's a difficult thing, but I'm giving you some tips. You introspect yourself and see where do you, what are your passion is fitting into these 5 criteria. Number one, if you are doing something and you are out of time and space. What I mean to say, if you are doing painting and you don't know how 3 hours passed, 4 hours passed, and you don't know where you're sitting, even there's a disturbance, but you are so busy. Michelangelo was such a, he used to make sculptures. He used to get so much involved that one day he realized that his shoes was, got stuck within the sole of the shoe. He was so much entrenched in that, so much imbibed, so much engrossed. So if you are out of time and space in any activity, note it down. You don't know how the time passes. You don't know people are sitting, in the surrounding doesn't disturbs you. Number two, just see what kind of a data you are collecting. If I'm a singer, I will know how much song is sung by Lata Mangeshkar, Kishore Kumar, or Arijit Singh, or etc. If I am a fan of, I like cricket, I know how much centuries Sachin Tendulkar has made and Virat Kohli has made, or McGrath has made, or Vivian Richard has made, etc. You will be having data of those things. Number three, people will going to, you will start visiting those places in terms of, suppose you are like painting or you like singing, you will start visiting those places. They're going to attract you. Okay, they will going to attract you that, you will be attracted to go in such events. Note it down. Number four, people will going to appreciate you. They will say, very good, shabash, bahut acha, keep it up. We like you will do something. It means when people are giving encouragement in these things, you note it down, what kind of things. And the fifth one, the most important, is this: if you are not tired, aap thakte nahi hai. Love is an emotion where you will never get tired. I love teaching. It's irrespective of anything. When I come on the platform of teaching, I never feel exhausted. I feel more energetic. This is the thing where I really enjoy. And when somebody tells me you come for a lecture, okay, fine, because I love it. So try to discover in yourself. First, going, I want to know in myself, what talent I have, what passion I have. So, number one, if you are out of time and space. Number two, that you started collecting the data. Number three is that you started going into the events of that place, of that activity. And number four, people appreciate you. And number five, you don't get tired. Aapko thakaan nahi hoti. You don't get exhausted. Because love is a passion, is an emotion. Love is a kind of emotion where people will never get tired. This is a blessing of God that, you will never get tired worshipping, loving someone. It could be your job, it could be your parents, it could be your spouse. You will never get tired. Same thing applies to the job. If you are not feeling I have to run away from my job, time has to finish, I have to go to the office. So these are the things how you can basically uh, see yourself discovering your passion. Okay, now I'm coming to a very important thing. This is like how to be, let me finish these skills because this is very important. I just read out. Uh, we have discussed about analytical thinking, innovation, active learning, and learning strategies, creativity, originality, and initiatives, technology design, and programming. There's something called as design thinking. You can research it. Critical thinking and analysis, complex problem solving, very good skill. This skill is basically going to help you in your profession and of course in your personal life. Problems will be there in life. There will be, I would like to tell you that, you know, roads, when you're driving, roads which have speed breakers, you know, definitely are roads which are going to take you safely towards your destination. So there will be problems, there would be speed breakers in your life, but never get disheartened. Roads which have problems and speed breakers, they will take you safely towards the destination. Roads which doesn't have problems, roads which doesn't have speed breakers, if suppose you are driving in Germany on an autobahn where the speed limit is, there's no speed limit. That road is dangerous because something happens, then things will be very dangerous. So the roads which have speed breakers, which have problems, is, they will going to basically lead you to a safer destination. So I would like to highly stress on complex problem solving. You basically uh, focus on this and learn more skills. There are some ways to do it. I will also quote you something here. From the childhood, we have been taught, we have been told to think positively, avoid negative thinking. But there's something called as how to think. There's a person, his name is Edward de Bono. He's from Malta. He's a person who has taught the world to the head of the states, many head of the states. They go and ask him how we should think. Now, there are times where in crisis, we lose our thinking. We become blackout. So please Google Edward de Bono, how to think. We have been told how to think positively, that's very good. But how we should think, this is a skill where, we have been never taught in the schools, in the colleges, even at our homes. We think positively, that's fine, but how we should think. There are fantastic books written by Edward de Bono. So I would suggest you note down the name and try to research on it. Try to see the life. We have got one life and we have to do so much good things for the society and for ourselves. How we can do. And the biggest motivator in anyone's life, as per the recent studies, is that one of it is that you want to improvise yourself. This is also a motivator in your life. You have to, how you can keep on improvising yourself, how you can make good relations with others always. This is another motivation. Human beings have, researches have been done on this topic before, but latest, one of the factors on motivation is this, that you keep on learning good things in your life. This keeps on motivating you. So beautiful skills I'm sharing with you. And in the coming slides, there are a few more where you'll be surprised that, these are the skills which we have never heard about it, but they play a very important role in your professional and personal life. Let's move ahead. Now, I'm telling you a formula, which is Darren Hardy has written a book called as Compound Effect. You note down the name. In the end, I will give you the name of some very good books, Compound Effect. Now, he has mentioned somewhere, because I will not take the credit. I have collected these information from different sources. And Darren Hardy has written in Compound Effect that how to be lucky always in job or in a profession. So there is something called as preparation. Now, what is preparation? How your personal growth you do in terms of learning skills that I have discussed with you. Then you should make mentors in your life. Always remember that making mentors, coaches, guide is very important. They will take you to a place not by a shortcut, but by the right way. Okay. Always be very careful in selecting mentors also. So make mentors. Suppose I'm telling to someone like a female student who's here, she wants to open a beauty parlor or a boutique, for example. So instead of doing trial and errors, She can go and make mentors and ask, I want to learn this skill. And believe me, there are so beautiful people in this world. They will teach you. Go and learn, ask them, take the mentorship. Another thing I would like to tell you about something very good, which I'm quoting the name again of a very big author. His name is, I'm a big fan of him, Malcolm Gladwell. Note down the name, Malcolm Gladwell. He has written 3 fantastic books, and I'll highly recommend all of you to read. One is the tipping point. Tipping point, I've given many lectures, but if in case there's a chance, sometimes I'll discuss you what is tipping point. Very good from the management part, from the skill part, but I may not be able to give a lecture now on that. Tipping point, blink. Another is outlier. In one of the book, I think so, in Outlier, he has mentioned 10,000 hours formula. And he has done a research and he said, take the example of Sachin Tendulkar, take the example of Virat Kohli, take the example of Usain Bolt, Michelangelo, uh, Leonardo da Vinci, anyone, any artist, any celebrity, or you may say even Aristotle, in their formative years of their life, this is your formative years in your university, in your college. You come to a college. Now just calculate, I'm giving you a 10,000 hours. What does it mean? It means that suppose you're going to BSS college. You are spending there 6 hours. You go in the 10 o'clock in the morning and come back by say 5, 4. 6 hours you are there. Then you come back, do your homework. So take 8 hours. 8 multiply by at least 6 days a week. Take Sunday off. Multiply by 4 weeks. Multiply by 12 months. Multiply by 4 years. You will get 10,000 hours. If you really work consistently with a lot of conviction, interest, you can do anything in your life. Anything. You want to achieve, there's a saying, we are what we think. We are shaped by our thoughts. So you can achieve your goals. Another thing I would like to tell you, this is what Gladwell has said, but this is for the skills which you need, like, I'm giving the example of Virat Kohli or Sachin Tendulkar or Usain Bolt or Michael Phelps. They spent for Olympics for 4 years and they put 10 hours, 10,000 hours. When Michael Phelps is the Olympian who won 8 gold medals in a single Olympics, and the last which he won was 100 meters butterfly, and somebody asked him, he just won by a fraction of seconds in fraction. Somebody said, it was a lucky day for you. He says, no, I practiced for 4 years. At least every day I was in water. So this is how it works. Another thing I would like to tell you for a shorter skills. There's another research which I can share with you, that in a TED talk also he has said, you can learn a skill in 20 hours. And he has proved it. I will forward the link to Dr. Zora and she can share with you. In 20 hours, you can learn small skills. So 10,000 hours is for your bigger skills, and 20 hours, you can learn digital marketing. You can learn something related to IT. You can learn something related to HR. So your preparation in the complete formula of being lucky. Networking is very important. Believe me, one of the most important things which I'm sharing with you is networking. Please do good networking. And there's a saying, you are the average of your 5 best friends. I will reiterate, you are the average of your best 5 friends. Your personality is basically a reflection of the 5 people you are sitting most. So always select a good circle of friends, intelligent people. I don't negate or criticize. No, everybody we should love. But you have to really scan, filter that whom I should give time. If you make your inspiration, make your idols, make your, heroes, mentors, and try to connect with people who really gives good information to you. So remember this thing, that you are the average of your 5 best friends, or you may say with whom you are spending most time. So very careful, be very careful, because what you are reflecting in your personality is what you are sitting with people. Another thing is attitude. This is, I must say, the master stroke. Being a recruiter, I see a lot of CVs with experience and, with a lot of things. But when the CV goes, or I take the interviews, sometimes the attitude is not good. Qualification is very good, The thing, experience is good, but attitude is not good. So you should have a good mindset. Another thing is opportunity. Whenever you get an opportunity, please take it up. And the fourth is action. Keep on thinking. Imagination will not going to help you. You have to take action. So to have a formula for success: preparation, attitude, opportunity, and action. I have given you 10,000 hours formula, even 20,000 hours, 20 hours formula, which is very important, for you to do your preparations. Without preparations, you cannot be lucky in your life. There's a saying, you are lucky when your preparations meet you. So this is another thing. Now I'm coming to, how you should basically improvise on your skills. Uh, Before I've given you some skills, what kind of skills are important. Now, you should know what kind of skills you are ready for. If you are not ready, it is difficult for you. Before, we used to have, still we have IQ. You know what is IQ? Intelligent quotient. For 30, 40 years, IQ dominated the selection criteria in various things. Basically, it was nothing else. In the Second World War, when they used to recruit soldiers, they thought to ask some mathematical questions, and based on that, they selected people. That was adopted by corporates, IQ. Even in selection hiring, we do IQ test. Then came Daniel Goleman. Note down the name, Daniel Goleman. Emotional intelligence, EQ, very good, important skill. You should learn and read the books. What is the importance of emotional intelligence? Again, it's a huge topic, which if I'm going to talk to you, it will take 1 hour. I have spoken on all these topics in various workshops from time to time, but now I'm just giving you certain things where you can basically learn. Now, another thing, now we have AQ, intelligence quotient, then we have EQ, which is emotional quotient. Now there's something called AQ, adaptability quotient. You have to adapt the things very fast. If you don't react to the changing market dynamics, I will give you an example in the end that will be different. So be curiosity. Curiosity is very important. Develop your learning skills. What motivates you? As I've given you, how do you discover your passions? That is very important. Be versatile. Find your role models. Find your mentors. Get feedback through real projects, upskilling and reskilling. And whenever you learn a skill, after learning the skill, try to teach others. That will further make you strong in that skill. You have learned something into IT, try to teach to somebody. Always never keep your knowledge with you. Before dying, give it to everyone, decimate it as much as possible. And we don't know when the things comes close, closing of the life. We have seen a lot of things in the COVID. So always keep on decimating your knowledge. And once you learn a skill, try to share with everyone. Try to teach. This is going to make you more perfect. Now, I'm again coming to some tech skills. Again, I will go faster. This is again based on the research 2020, 25. What are the skills we have discussed? But again, there are a few more here. This is called as the tech skills, technological skills, which is now mandatory, I must think, for everyone. AI, mobile apps, very important things. You can do a second kind of a career in these things. Mobile apps, SEO, SEM, search engine optimization, machine learning, data engineering, UI, UX. You please note down what is UI, UX, user interface. Skill which you can learn in 20 hours, let me tell you. And this is going to pay you for a long time. Cybersecurity is very important. One of the most important fintech, technological skill is cybersecurity. Cloud computing, blockchain, very important, and IoT. IoT means Internet of Things. So you note down these terms and you see your passion, where you can increase your skills, in technological skills. Very important. Even for me, I'm teaching. I must know many of these things. At least 2, 3 I should know. And this is very important for you to know these skills. I am telling you very candidly, very categorically, very explicitly that this is the future. These skills are the future. So you have to take it very seriously. Another thing is, this thing I have noted down from a book which I can share with you. This is the book which is Banking 4.0. Although I'm not from finance, but when I read excerpts of this book and the summary, I fall in love with this book. I purchased this book. I will share with you the title again. Those who are going into banking, BCom or some graduation is mandatory. I agree with it. Financial knowledge is important, but they are not the future. If you want to work with international banking, investment banking, like Standard Chartered or Citibank or HSBC, they will going to look at different skills in you. Banking skills are no more required. Banking experience will not going to help you a lot. So what skill banking will need? See, there might be students who are from finance stream, or even those who are from English stream. They might have, you might be having brothers, friends. You can suggest them. This is again based on the book, which is from Britley, the skills which will be for banking. You would have not heard about these skills, many of these skills. Data scientist, data analytics, you know it. Machine learning, you know it. Experience designer, storytellers. Believe me, storytelling is such an important thing. Try to discover if you have. And storytelling is again a skill which is needed in banking. You'll be surprised to know. Behavioral psychologist, blockchain integrators, compliance and risk partners, community advocates, and identity brokers. So I will suggest you please note down these names, take a photo of this, try to research it, try to learn in your free time. That you're going to find, maybe, as I told you, destination is waiting for you somewhere else. As I said before, life happens to you when you're planning something else. So maybe something can strike you, it can trigger some interest in you, and you can become, a great person in this. I would like to tell you one more example, which is related to, if you are landing up in a job where, suppose in case you are not interested, and you feel after a few years that I can take a U-turn. There was a lady. She was from Zimbabwe. She was married. She was having a baby, and she was a school teacher. But one day a child came to her. She was just leaving the school, and he asked her, "I forgot my T-shirt in the room in my locker. I want to." She just slapped him, and then she realized, "What the hell? I'm not the right person for this profession, and I want to quit because I'm not basically compatible with this profession." So next morning, when she was going to the school, there was a bus stop. She got down from there and said goodbye to teaching. And then she started going for a banking job. She applied for a tailor job. And that time she had another baby. And the husband decided, their family decided to migrate to Australia. They migrated to Australia after doing a few jobs, in banking. And after that, she did some course in banking, and again she joined a bank, and she was the president of the biggest bank of Australia. Okay, and she retired as a president. So if something is not, you are not interested in a field, you can take a U-turn in the early careers, but as soon as possible. There are many examples where people have realized somewhere that this profession may not be good for them, so they can take a U-turn as well. So these are the books which I was quoting you for the fintech skills, Britley, and cryptocurrencies. Okay, now I would like to come on communication skills, but there has been a lot of talk about it, which is we call in the skills like king skill. Communication skill is one of the best skills. So please go and see what is elevator pitch. Elevator pitch, I'll tell you something you want to speak in say 60 seconds. Suppose you are going in a lift in a building and you just come across a CEO in your corporate office, because in places like big cities, metros, where I am mostly in Dubai, there are huge skyscrapers, 80 floors, 90 floors. So if you suppose meet a CEO in the lift of say Samsung or say General Electric or Apple, and you just want to meet him and he's not giving you time, just give you an example. So you landed with him in a lift and he's going on 40th floor. You have 40 seconds to say. Now, how you should say and what you should say, this is called, I'm just giving elevator pitch. To be very concise, articulate, important points, you should basically practice how to say in say 60 seconds, 40 seconds, important things. How can it make an impact? This is something very important. And always remember, in communication skills, like, when we talk, your language, your English vocabularies and other things make just 10% or 8% of it. Your voice tone, your body language is very important, because generally when we speak, we don't know our body language, because it reflects your confidence. There's again in communication skill, I was reading a Harvard article. Sometimes people are sharing a very important content, but it doesn't make an impact. So you have to really take care of your body language and voice tones as well. Uh, Now, this is something very important which I'm sharing with you, but I'll share with you very fast. Again, it takes time, but at least once you know these things in your corporate life, it's going to change you. I can tell you an address, this thing is available there, which is very valuable. You can go and buy it. But if you don't know the address and you don't know the product also, and you don't know the benefit of it, see, always remember, if I want to tell my students anything and they're not interested in this, I will tell the benefits of it. These are the benefit of this course. This is the benefit of this profession. This is the benefit of reading. Once you tell the benefit, they will say, yeah, then I can give time. Just, being strict with them. If they're doing a mistake, discipline equals to punishment. No, it is there, but to an extent, I feel I'm telling you the benefits of one more thing. Once you go in a corporate and you're giving a very good presentation, your data is very good, your PPT is very good, but your proposal has been tabled. After 1 week, you say, rejected, because the person whom you're giving, always remember, I'll go fast, but again, I'm telling you, you please study these things in detail. Recently, I given a workshop on this, and it was liked. So I thought to include in this and share with you. Always remember, my dear beloved students, that there are 5 kind of decision makers in a corporate world. One is charismatic, which are 25%. They are like, initially they're exuberant about a new idea, but will yield a final decision based on a balanced set of information. You read it in details. I'll give you the material. Then there are thinkers, they're 11%. There are 3 skeptics, they're 19%. There are followers, they're 36%. And there are controllers, which are 9%. So once you should know your boss, his personality is a charismatic, thinker, skeptic, follower, or controller. If you develop these skills, how to deal with your boss, or you are going to crack a sales pitch, you're going for a sales proposals, and what decisions Steve Jobs take as a decision maker may not be true what Bill Gates is taking or Elon Musk is taking after listening a presentation. They have a different personality. So we are thinking by default, we give presentation based on skeptics and controller, which are, say, 28-30% of the total decision maker's personality by default. But what I'm trying to tell you here, don't take it lightly that your boss, whatever presentation with good content you give, and it is not making an impact, you will say, no, he's not listening to me, or, there's something problem with me. Of course, there is, because you have not identified what kind of a personality he or she is. So now I'm giving you a slide, which is again based on Harvard research. Now you go through it. I can share with you if you want it. Later on, I'll forward some slides to Dr. Zora, and she can share with you. Charismatics has certain traits and personality characters. What is that? I will not going to read all these things because it will take time, but I'll read the first one. Charismatic accounts for 25% of all executives we have polled. They're intrigued and enthralled by new ideas, but experience has taught them to make final decisions based on balanced information, not just emotions. Their typical characteristic is they're enthusiastic, captivating, talkative, dominant. An example is Richard Branson, which is the owner of Virgin Airlines. So all have different examples, charismatic thinkers, controllers. And when you're giving them a presentation, you should use some buzzwords which they like. So first you identify what kind of personality he or she is. You have to use some buzzwords. I'm just giving you the example of the first charismatic one. The buzzwords which you should use is results, proven, action, shown, watch, easy, clear, focus. See, always remember, you are a friend of someone. Why? Your best friend is your best friend. Why? The research shows that you see a lot of your habits, your reflection of your personality in him. That's why he's your best friend. You're not going to talk to someone who is diametrically, 180 opposite to you. You're going to be a friend with someone who talks like you, who thinks like you. So, in the same way, to be successful in the corporate, you have to basically be very sharp. See, it's nothing but a chessboard. You have to play like this to reach on the zenith, to reach on the pinnacle, to reach on the summit. You have to read your bosses, even your people whom you are giving a proposal. Do a research before. If you are meeting a person for crack a deal, try to do some, due diligence. Note down this word, due diligence. Many of the students don't know the meaning of due diligence. Do a due diligence. Do a research. He's a thinker, skeptic, follower, controller. Then only you give a presentation, and then you're going to make a big impact on your presentation. Okay, now coming to one of the most important skills, which is never ever taught, discussed, most of it, but uh, believe me, whatever skills I've discussed with you, based on your profession, but these are the skills which really makes a big difference in your life. Managing, making smart decisions. What do you think this word making smart decisions means? It is a full kind, you have to do a research and a skill how you can make smart decisions. On what basis you should take a call on something, whether I should do this thing or not, based on what data, or just on your instincts. Okay, on instincts also, there are certain things, but you should know. See, somewhere in our life, by the grace of God Almighty, we are blessed with certain things. Out of these, say, suppose 12, we might be blessed with 2, 3, or we even don't know we are blessed with it. Sometimes your friend can tell you, your mother can tell you, your teachers can tell you. But if you want to increase the things, always remember the difference between talent and skill. Talent is something which you, or you get it from the it could be from your birth. You could be like Usain Bolt, who runs very fast, or you could be like Muhammad Ali, who could be a good boxer. But you shape yourself more, you become something great in that. But if you want to learn certain other things in your corporate life, so I'm just giving you the headings of these things. You can take a picture of it, and please, I can suggest you these books are there from Harvard, HBR, which are on these topics, like making smart decisions, how to manage people. Now, very important is how to manage people in your corporate life. If you are not able to manage people, even in your personal life or in your professional life, it can create a lot of mess. So there are ways to manage people. It's not like uh, just like this, I can manage. No, means suppose in case uh, I just tell you something, my organization fully uses my talent or not, or I am engaged in my work or not, or how I can engage others in my work, how I can make a good team. Another thing is managing yourself. One is managing people, another is managing yourself. I'll just share with you of one thing of time management in managing yourself. Again, it is there are a lot of topics in this, but I'll suggest you all these things are jewels. They are jewels in terms of the skills. And I will going to suggest you that you please select and study these things in detail. Leadership qualities, amazing skills you should have for the leadership. The people say they're born, leaders are born, but no, they can be also trained, they can develop these skills. Emotional intelligence, as I've told you before, very important. Negotiation skills in your corporate life is very important. Mental toughness, this is again a skill where you can increase, improve on mental toughness. Managing risk in corporate life, in your business, how you can mitigate your risk, very important skill. Understanding importance of teamwork, diversity and cross cultures. You are working in an organization in UAE. When I work in a company, I have Filipinos, I have Indians, I have Pakistanis, Europeans, Egyptians, Syrians, Jordanians, Yemenis, Europeans, Germans. And diversity, always remember that once you run your own business, make a diverse culture. Diversity. Try to build a great culture in your company. Again, this is a skill, building great cultures. So diversity is very important. You should know how to work in a diverse environment. Now, I cannot tell you right now on team building, there's a book on that. Diversity, there's a book on that. Across cultures, there's a book on that. Collaboration, oh my God, there's a fantastic skill. You should collaborate with people in your life. So I'm giving you these names and I can give you references where you can find data, quality data. Okay, public speaking and presenting, very important. And networking, as I said before, is one of the most important thing in your corporate life, in your business, in your personal life as well. So, human beings, they want to do network with good people always. This is again a motivation. They want to improve their relationships. So these are the skills which will going to pay off you ever. Make smart decisions. Don't do a wrong go for a call on a wrong decision. Managing people, managing yourself, leaderships, emotional intelligence, negotiation, mental toughness. Mental toughness. I can't recollect the name of one of the biggest psychologists in the world. He used to give lectures on motivation, but one day he did suicide by a gun which he used to use to shoot the elephant. He did suicide. So mental toughness is very, very important. We have seen people doing suicide sometimes. Never go ever into these kind of things. Life is a challenge. As I told you, it will come with speed breakers. It will come with challenges. Replace the word problem with challenges. Challenges, see your things as challenges. Whole scenario will change. Always remember that have a good dictionary of vocabularies and sentences in your mind. Unfortunately, when we want to say something in a subconscious mind, we don't have good vocabularies, good examples. So the mind picks up something which is stale, rotten, cliches, and we use those words. I will suggest you try to read and also don't depend on your memory. Make a notebook. If you see a good vocabulary, good word, note it down. If you see a good quotation, note it down. If you see even a sentence, note it down. Make a diaries. I have 10, 15 diaries with me from the 25 years, and I keep on referring them because I don't know what I ate day before yesterday. Correct? If I see a lecture, I listen a lecture. When I was reading, I used to when we read, we see the opinions of the people. Reading is nothing but different books is the opinion of people. So we basically have to jot it down. Otherwise, don't depend on your memory. We're not going to help you for a long time. The best way I can suggest you is this, that you make a notebook, write down these things, and in your mind, try to have a good vocabularies. You should have good quotes. When you speak, see, when you start speaking, it shows who you are. If you don't have stuff to speak, be quiet. That is more wise. Otherwise, if you speak something wrong, rubbish, and generally, I was just listening to somebody. Somebody was telling me, that person hates a lot. He doesn't love relations. He hates people. So then, please correct yourself. There's a difference between to hate somebody and to dislike somebody. He may dislike someone, but it doesn't mean that he hates. But you don't have a vocabulary. Your mind picks up the words which are just floating here and there. See, try to develop a skill. Suppose I'm talking to you and I want to pick up the mobile phone, I will pick up this subconsciously. But if I focus, I'm picking up this mobile, it will make a difference. If I'm keeping something somewhere, because we are more into a mechanical kind of a drive. So train your mind into controlling the things in consciously. There's a very good book called as the Power of Subconscious Mind. Very good book, The Power of Subconscious Mind. Okay. Now I'm going fast here. This is for students. Suppose you are hunting for a job. What you should do? There are 10 websites for job hunts. LinkedIn is number one. Please make your content on LinkedIn very good. Indeed, Naukri India, Naukri Monster India, Bath, Career Cloud, Dice, Career Builder, Jibba Jobber, Glassdoor, top. These are the websites where you should put your CVs, but make good quality CVs. Okay, don't copy paste. If you copy paste, also do it intelligently. Don't put things on the CVs which you don't know, because the person who's taking your interviews is 25 years of age in that profession. He will do complete dissection and postmortem of your CV. And please mention whatever you have done. You mention that in your CV. If you have put, sometimes you know what happens. I take interviews, and there's something called as hobbies. He has written his hobbies is cricket, singing, traveling. Then I ask him, what are your hobbies? He says painting, cooking, something like that. Completely different. So as I told you, please take control of yourself. What you're writing, please go very carefully in your CVs. Otherwise, you will going to doomed it. Now, these are the 9 sites online education where you can do some courses. Many of them are free. Coursera, edX, Khan Academy is USA based. You know, UAdemy, iTunes, free courses on Apple, MIT open courses, Stanford online, Core Academy, and Harvard. There are many courses free on Harvard also. Harvard, HBR, Harvard Business School, HBS. So you can learn online many courses. Okay, these are the top sites where you can learn Excel for free. See, remember, Excel is a very important tool for your corporates. Either you are into account finance, it's okay. But even if you are into management or any kind of job, please increase your skills on Excel. So these are the sites where free Excels you can learn. Microsoft Excel Self-Help Center, Excel Exposure, Chandu, Excel Contactuals, Excel Hero, improve your skills, Excel. These are the, you can take a Photoshop, click off it. Even I can send these slides to Dr. Zora. Now, there are some 10 sites where you can make your resumes for free. When you want to make a CV, and if you are not confident, you can even go on these websites and learn how to make a good CV. Okay, these are the name of the website. I will not going to call because you can take a photo of it. All right. How to prepare for the interviews? If you are not confident for interviews, there are websites who can guide you how to do interviews preparations. Ambition Box, Ace the Interview, these Career Cup, Interview Up, Interview Best, India Bix. These are the websites where you can do your free interview preparations. Now, one thing I want to tell you about your talent. What is the meaning of talent? Talent means competence plus commitment plus contribution plus potential. Always remember, my dear students, what is the meaning of competence? Competency. See, there are 4 things into competency. Somebody comes for a job, I say, you're competent, you are incompetent. So what does it mean? Competency has 4 things. Number 1, your qualification. Now, being a student, you are qualified. You have a BBA, BSc, BA, you are qualified. But you don't have skills. I know the shortfalls in students. You are completely lacking in many skills. So you're out from being a competent. Number 3 is experience. You're not experienced for this job. How can I take you? And number 4, attitude. Whatever you have, qualification, skills, experience, if I see, you are not a team player. You don't listen to anyone. You just want to save yourself, everything. You're an autocrat. You have qualification, skills, experience, attitude. I will share the name of a book where you can read more about attitude. About attitude, we call your attitude decides your altitude. So, students, always remember, suppose this is a mobile, and tomorrow you are going for a meeting. Okay, and you put it on the charger. Mobile is new, battery is new, charger is good, electricity is there. Morning, you took your phone, you were in the car, you dialed someone, the mobile is not charged. What the hell? Mobile is new. Now, what I have done? You have not switched on the plug. The same mistake students do in their formative years in the universities. Their professors, they remind them. Their teachers, they remind them. Their parents, they remind them. But you don't switch on. See, PSS is one of the best college in the BHOPAL. So many resources are there. You can learn a lot. I have given you 10,000 hours formula. Life is once we get. Always remember, life में दो चीजें. There are two things which are irreversible. One is time, another is energy, health. So utilize your time. I have seen many youngsters, they lost their senses. They have time, but they don't have energy. So take care of your health. You are what you eat. You are what you eat. Also, there's a saying. So now I'm coming back to competence. I am always encouraging students to do jobs during their uh, university days. Even if you don't get a job, start teaching your neighbors. It's going to pay back you. You're going to learn a lot. Try to teach people of your mohalla, your colony, your neighbors. If you don't get a job, teach them. You're going to pay back you a lot. So I always encourage students to do jobs. It means I have done BSc. I know what kind of things I used to waste time. BA, a lot of students, they waste their, I don't say everyone, but it is, and I know how much time is wasted in now 8 hours for 3 years. I still suggest my students, this is my opinion, being a corporate executive, I encourage students to do their jobs during the summers at least. When you will make your CV, my discussion was disrupted slightly when I was telling you what you have done in your college during these 3 years. Please note down those activities. If you are listening to say a guest lecture of Dr. AFTAB, you note down the topic. You note down you were participated in some kind of activities in college. You were the captain of the football team, cricket team. You were heading a debate. Make these contents in 3 years. It will make 1 page. But nobody tells you, and you don't also remember after 3 years you are making CV in first year, first semester, what workshops. Also mention about your projects. If you have done good projects during your graduation. See, I am telling you with responsibility because I have a recruitment company. I see the CVs. In that CV, I see that the student has mentioned all these things. It shows you were serious. You were focused. So another thing is now in talent, your commitment. Commitment means that employees are willing to develop their discretionary energy. Then there's a contribution. How much you're contributing? What is the purpose of your job? I can't go into the detailing because it will again take time. And the last thing is your potential. Potential means that are you ready to learn? I'm teaching you a skill in the say in terms in your company. You are not ready to learn. You don't have a potential for that. And if you don't have a potential for that, let me tell you, your life in a corporate world will be in a red zone. So increase your potential. Now, I'll go fast on time management still. Uh, Life is nothing but a game of a ratio proportion priorities. We have to set a priority. So if you have how to manage time, there's a workshop on 1 hour workshop on this, but prioritize your work. Number one, if you have something urgent and important, urgent and important, do it now. Something is important, not urgent. Decide you will do after 2 days. It is important, but not urgent. Number three, not important, not urgent, dump it. Urgent and not important, you delete it. So these you have to prioritize your life. Otherwise, sometimes you are going on the number three. It's not important and not urgent. You are wasting your time. So always see, feel, understand, discuss what is urgent and important. That's number one priority. Now, I'm giving you a picture of this Choleutica bridge. Very fantastic example. You would have seen it somewhere. This is a bridge before. This is a bridge after. This bridge was built by a Japanese company after taking a lot of quotations from different construction companies. The bridge will be very strong. Nobody can, winds and storms, floods can break it. That was there. But one day, the river changed its directions. The river changed the directions. The bridge is still there. What does it mean? See, sometimes in life, things will change, technology will change. You have to move with it. Otherwise, this is an example. So always keep on learning new things. Always, you know, keep on upgrading your skills. Uh, that is one of the best things in life, which will going to motivate you. Otherwise, you know, this is an example where it was very strong bridge, but the time changed the directions. All right, now these are the jobs which will be going to hiring will be there. Of course, the jobs will be more in supply chain, IT, a lot of things we have discussed before. So I'll skip these slides. These are the few books which I will tell you to go through. There are many other books, How to Win and Influence Friends, very famous, Dale Carnegie, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, Covey, Awaken Giants within Anthony Robbins, How to Think, De Bono, Blue Ocean Strategy. This is a bit technical, so you can see it once you are in your job. 13 things mentally strong people can do, Things and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, uh, the book written by Rhonda Byrne, Sapiens, Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by um, Robert Kiyosaki, yeah, Atomic Habit by James Clear. Very good books. I'll suggest you to read it. Mastery and Mindset. Mindset, please read this book. I'm reading this book now. It's a fantastic book. Yeah. Power of Subconscious Mind. I told you this is Malcolm Gladwell. People call it Gladwinism. A very good writer, author. Tipping Point, Outlier, Blink. And one of my favorite corporate series is HBR series, Harvard Business Review series. So for those who wants to go into the topic, they can go for HBR. Very fantastic ideas. So this is how I rest my case. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Dr. Zara, for giving me this wonderful session. And if you have any questions to ask, one of my interesting thing is this part. If you have any questions to ask on your employment, jobs, how to prepare for it, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure the students will be ready to ask you something or the other because of the useful tips you were sharing. They do have a lot of queries, I think. Can we have some questions in case the students want?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Anjana.
Sir, I wanted to ask, can you share a few tips on time management? Because these days we have so much to learn and so much to do. So,
Yeah, time management. I would like to tell you on this thing, as I told you in the previous slide. Whatever is urgent for you and important for you, you please prioritize it. Because first of all, you must be able to see the things which are important. You know, in this thing, how you can do it. Like sometimes uh, you feel this is important for me, but it may not. So suppose you get something to do within a specific time, you have to really see how fast I can do it. Suppose you come across a skill to learn and you have to allot time to that. Like there's a skill to learn on digital marketing and it can go for, say, 2 months. So you have to really prioritize it that, I have to take these things. See, always remember one thing that if in case you go to a doctor and the doctor prescribes you a prescription, and in that prescription he says that take this medicine twice a day, take this medicines in 2 days, and take this medicine which is for sleep whenever you are not feeling to sleep. This is the right permutation, combination, priorities of it. This is the right, I must say, priorities of it. But if you reverse that formula, if you reverse that medication formula, instead of taking that medicine whenever you want to sleep or you're not feeling to sleep, you take that medicine, but you reverse it. That prescription for your life will become the prescription of your somebody's prescription of death. So, in the same way, when you get something in your life to do on priority, and as I told you on that slide, 1, 2, 3, 4, make a how important it is for you and whether that thing can really benefit you or not, or if you are slightly confused, you can ask and help a person who is specialist in it, how fast you can do it, how faster you can submit it. Because suppose you are told to work on a proposal in a company and you submit it within a week's time, you have 1 week time. It's too less for you to collect the data. What is the best option for that? You have to start working with people who are expert in this. Try to take their help. Try to ask them, I want to finish. Never hesitate to ask help in case you are stuck up in something. So number one, you prioritize what is important and urgent. You do it first. Secondly, what is not important or which is not urgent, you uh, first of all, what is urgent, you have to do it first. Which is important and not urgent, you can put it on the second priority. But the thing is, I will suggest you to go for some kind of time management course. There are books on time management where you can read in more details. Because here, one thing is there, managing yourself. I can share with you this book, Managing Yourself. You know, you are going to find a lot of things here, how you can manage your time, how you can manage yourself. Unless and until you are not able to manage yourself, it's difficult for you to manage the time. It is said, always remember that things which could be measured could be managed. Things, I will reiterate, things which could be measured could be managed. So if you are able to manage a thing, manage the time, or you can measure it that in this time you can manage it. First of all, number one, try to manage yourself. Learn the skills to manage yourself, because if you want to manage time management, this will fall into that. So I will suggest you to go through some good books, as I have shared with you one book, and do some small course on time management, uh, because you have to practice it for at least some days to unwire the things which are in your mind. Procrastination. Read about procrastination. People delay it. So, Anjali, I will suggest you these things. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Anything else? Yes, Anshika. Yes, go.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. The webinar was very good. Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful webinar. And I want to ask a question. Like you recommended some really good books just a while ago, but we have so many tasks all over the day, and we sometimes we don't get the time to read books. So, what do you think about audiobooks? Are they good? Like we can
Yeah.
multitask while hearing it.
See, first of all, Anshika, reading is not for only during your college days. I will tell you, your reading will start once you leave the college. Remember this today. You feel that, I will pass my exams and semesters. Goodbye to the books. I will say open your books after you pass out from the university, college, because then you will get time. First of all, try to make it as a good habit. And if you are not a good reader, important thing, please note down. Google the summary of atomic habits, summary of, say, book on managing time, summary of banking, summary of this books related to human personality, summary of the book I mentioned for Malcolm Gladwell, like Blink, summary of Tipping Point, summary of Rich Dad Poor Dad. You can be benefited a lot. Let me tell you. Go for the summaries. If you don't have time to read the book, Google the summary part of the books. You'll get very good information. Other thing is audio books. That is also, if you develop a habit of reading, listening to the audiobooks, it's very, very useful. It saves a lot of time. So these are the two things which I suggest you. First of all, make it as a habit of learning. Learning is something very good. Secondly, also read the summaries. If you maybe you read a book, see, the best memories can keep 10% of your reading at a young age to maximum 5 years. Write a very good memory at a young age. You will remember even 5 to 10% of that book. I read that book, but after 5 years, you will not going to remember much. Yeah, that was the content of the book, but you will not remember everything. My memory is not good. Let me put it very frankly. So I noted down even some important things. Then I have started developing the habit reading the summaries of the book. That makes a lot of help. Hope I answered the question, Anushka. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else who would ask a question if there is
Yes,
a
ma'am.
question?
Ma'am,
Good
may I?
afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Rakshi. Yep.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you said that communication skills are very important. So, sir, can you give some tips how to improve them? And, sir, one more thing, like many people say that if you know many languages at a time, that will give an impact on your communication skills. So, sir, that is true?
Of course, it is true. The person who are learning the languages, see, it basically a person. I have read some research papers on those people who learn languages. The people who learn languages, a new language, it really impacts your memory. It impacts your analytical skills. It impacts your interpreting the things, and your personality will be different if you really learn different languages. This is something which I endorse it. I accept it. And this is important that if you learn a language, it will always keep your brain more vigilant. Your memory will be improved. Now, coming back to your question, how to improve on the communication skills. See, communication skills, again, you should know communication. What is the meaning of commute communication? Communication is not only speaking good, as I told you, your body language, your tone, your voice. And one of the most important in communication is you should be a good listener. You should be a very good listener. If you only, you know, go ahead in your life with only speaking and you don't listen, you may not be a good communicator. So being a good communicator, important thing is you should be a good listener. Now, how you can improve your communication skills? First of all, I told you you should practice talking for a elevator pitch. What is elevator pitch? I told you, try to summarize yourself in a flow uh, with good content, good, impactful words. This is a very important thing. Another thing which you can learn in communication skills is even by taking some courses on communication skills, you know, how you can practice it, how you can do it. But the important thing is that in communication skills, you should maintain a flow in your words. And at the same time, when you speak, see, I have seen many a times that if you are not able to connect to the people, if you are not able to, say, make them feel you are a genuine person, that also will give a lot of impact. Try to make your speech, you are a genuine speaker. What you are saying is by the heart. You are not trying to fool around. Because remember this thing that when we meet strangers, you are giving a public speaking where people don't know you. Your parents knows you very well, your brothers knows you very well, your sisters knows you well, your teachers knows you, some relatives, some neighbors. Whatever you do, they know, no, this person is this kind. But we meet people in life where they speak very well. They will use words, vocabularies, going to attract you. And you will be fooled. Let me tell you, many a times in life. Communication, I am also telling you one more, giving you one more tip. When you're talking to someone who's speaking very well, how you can make out he is a genuine person or not. Difficult, but it's a skill. Even I'm learning that skill. But somebody, when I read something somewhere, I thought, yeah, it makes sense. You try to see his body language. Number two, his eyes. A speaker who is trying to fool around, I'm using the wrong word maybe, who is not genuine from the heart, you may come in the trap. You may come in the trap. But if you see his body language, his eyes, you can make out a certain percentage, yeah, there's something wrong. So this is another tip I'm giving you, that you will meet people who will going to fool around. You can, the best part of human beings is also this, that they trust people. Yeah, this is a beauty God has given us. We trust people without doing, a lot of things. Yeah, somebody comes to you and asks you for some money, you can give it. Maybe your heart is saying, but this is the beauty of it. So I can suggest you on this, that you improve your elevator speech. Try to read the things, loudly, and be a good listener. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
We have Sarojini and Sibani raising their hands for the question. Sarojini, come
Yeah.
on. Sarojini, can you hear me? Okay. Sibani, can you go ahead with your question?
Yes, ma'am, for sure. Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Shivani, go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, especially a lot of thanks for your expression and your words that were, completely extremely delightful for me. Sir, my small question to you is that what about the persons, those who have plenty of confusions and things to learn? Like, we get too much confused sometimes, like in between our creativity and what we actually do. Like, at certain point, we are engaged in some kind of routine or some degree, I feel, but after some time we lose the interest in that subject and we get around all the things behind us. Like after some time we totally get bored from that subject at certain point. And even as you spoke earlier about keeping things up from rest of the things, like prioritizing those things around. And so my question is that like how can one prioritize the all the things, like too much of information is available in internet nowadays, like a lot of information is available. And for example, nowadays a PhD scholar even so can be as learned, and a small kid can be as learned as a PhD scholar even. Just he or she has to grasp all the knowledge he get from the internet or so. So, so can you like answer my this question? I'm basically confused about this.
See, there are a lot of confusions coming up because of various things you are involved into social media. You are so much connected to the world, which is giving you a lot of things which are not needed. So first of all, try to disconnect with a lot of social media, which is giving you unnecessarily information, giving you confusions. Let me tell you one thing. I am a recruiter. If I have in my company 50 jobs for recruitments, I'm able to fill only 20, 30, 25, not even 50. You know what is the reason behind it? The reason behind it is this, that I don't find talented people. Despite of recession, despite of COVID, despite of so much problems, we don't find right people. We don't find good people uh, for recruitment. So for you, when you are distracted so much, see, as I told you somewhere in the middle, that you see your passion. I'd give you 4 tips. See your passion, you know, out of time and space I gave you, if you're out of time and space. Second, what you are collecting data. Number 3, you are going for those events, listening, seeing, watching, you're getting appreciation, and you don't get tired. First of all, you try to shortlist these things in your professional career. Delete the things which, as you have said, you get bored by those subjects. If you are getting bored by that subject, so your problem is solved. You don't like it, and now there's no point to chase that thing, because try to see, on based on these 4 or 5 things I've told you, if there's a skill where you want to develop, and see whether you are prepared for that. You are ready for that. You see your friend going for a digital marketing course and you say, He's going, I'll also go. Just for heck, just for like this, just for kicks. But once you go there, you don't find it interesting. So see your readiness. Are you ready for that? Will there it going to suit you in the future? What kind of a job you want to do? It's going to help you a lot. Take a mentorship with someone if you have any problems. Medication is very important thing. Meditation is very important thing. Sorry, meditation is very important thing where it can disconnect you from a lot of things because you are so much bombarded with unuseful things. Try to disconnect from those things. Prioritize your things based on the 4 5 criteria as I told you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do you have a few more minutes? Because I can see Neha raising her hand. Can we just
Yeah,
take
yeah,
her?
why not? Neha,
Neha,
please
come
go ahead.
on.
Very good afternoon, sir. Very good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good
Am I
afternoon, Neha.
audible?
Very much.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, I would like to ask a question. Before, just give me a minute. I should like to brief about myself. Sir, after 5 years of sabbatical break, I have resumed my studies last year, and I have 12 years of corporate experience, work experience. So my question is, when any recruiter approaches me or any HR approaches me, should I be telling about the details of my personal life being a single mother, or I should not? How does this impact an interview or the chances of my selection?
Neha, let me tell you, this is what I have come across with my female colleagues, my friends, that after a sabbatical, after a hiatus, after kind of a break in the job, uh, this is a phase of life where, especially with the females, when they come to a family life, they give up their professional jobs for some time. It could be 1 year, it could be 2 years, it could be 3 years, it could be 4 years. So it makes sometimes difficult for going for the employment. But I would like to suggest you that you never used to hide the things from the person who's taking your interview because he is more experienced than you to dig out the information. And once you are once anybody is able to give wrong information and try to make the things, got selected, but it is going to surface somewhere. So, first of all, being a corporate professional and recruiters, we respect honesty. We respect genuinity. If you open up, and I've seen many of the people losing their jobs because of sabbatical, hiatus, that they basically come up after a few years. And I'm telling you, being a recruiter in my team, all are female workers who have faced sabbatical after not even 2 years, 10 years, 15 years. At the age of mid early 40s, I came across my friend. He told me that, my wife is looking for a job. My daughters are grown up. They are going to the college, and it's too long for her to start. Never keep on searching the opportunities because never be disheartened by these things. That is also a phase of life, beautiful phase of life. So you start looking for it and be genuine and be open. You can tell the recruiter this is the thing that there was a break in there was a sabbatical for and I'm a single mother, and there's no harm in it. People are going to help you. Let me tell you, there are very good people in this world who wants to help you. So I will suggest you not to hide because I, being an experienced person, if I asked you 10 questions, if you mention something in your CV that for 5 years you were doing a job in a company and you mentioned something that, these were my engagement and I was working, I can find it out. Not even by asking, giving a call to that company, but even during the interview, I can make out that this person is genuine or not. And if I discovered this thing that this person is not genuine, why should I keep? He or she is telling something lie now. He or she will make same thing in the company after some time. So be genuine and be open. Means, see, this is a phase of life, Neha. People will going to face these challenges. So I don't think so that this will be a serious problem. I will suggest you to, when you are on a sabbatical, keep on upgrading your skills. This is important. You keep on upgrading your skills, somebody will see, yeah, this is, see, the world is changing. Let me tell you, the world is changing in terms of jobs. Office jobs will be reduced to 70%, will be office going jobs 60%, 40% will be work from home. So never ever be disappointed, disheartened by a sabbatical. I will suggest you during that time, upgrade yourself with a skill or do some small jobs from home, but never hide it from your recruiter. That will going to boomerang on you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure Neha, with you're satisfied with the answer, and it's a welcome sign for all of us here listening to you. Thank you so much for your views, Dr. Aftab, especially with the question. I'm referring to Neha right now. Otherwise,
Yes.
Anubhuti, is there a query from your side? I saw your hand.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
I had a question that we usually make schedules, like we make timetable, sometimes it happens that we just forget to follow it. And because of that, we don't follow it, we lose motivation. So, how can we keep ourselves motivated?
See, the thing is, keeping yourself always motivated is a difficult thing. Let me put it right this. Only the thing is, you could be motivated uh, by two, three things in your life. One is that you keep on learning the new things. You should always trying to motivated by making good relationships, improvising on the relationship. And the important thing is, if you make these things in your mind that if I keep on learning the new things, it's going to help me a lot. Just give me a 1 minute. I just want to share with you something. I am sharing with you a very good book which I was reading yesterday night, and I came across something very interesting, and I will discuss with you motivation. Okay. In the early 40s, the theory on motivation was saying simply what we have a drive for survival. We are motivated by a drive of survival. This was called as motivation 1.0. Then came motivation 2.0, which is basically based on reward and punishment, carrot and stick. So, reward and avoid punishments. This was carrot and stick kind of a thing. You get motivated in your life to achieve something. You know, you are having some incentives. And the last thing, based on the research, I'm giving you a reference how you can stay motivated. So, number one is mastery, which says a desire to get better and better at what we do. So, what's your name? You were asking this name question.
Anubhuti.
Anubhuti, you always think, you know, that your desire to get better and better at what we do. I will suggest you to be on motivation on this part. Number two, our desire to have positive relationship with others. How you can make positive relationship with others. And the last, autonomy, a desire to be self-directed. Now, if you ask me, my motivation is I get motivated myself by one more thing, that one day I have to die. Before dying, I have to do something great. Believe me, every time I remember that before dying, I would like to do something great for the society. I want to generate employment which can help others. This is again the first part of the motivation which I was discussing. You want to improvise on that. You always try to think that, I'm giving you one very positive thought process. Even if you know tomorrow you are going to die, plant a tree which will give you fruits. Plant a tree which will give you fruits. Secondly, I read this somewhere also, if you are knowing tomorrow is the end of the world, imagine, then also plant a tree which will give you fruits. And always remember that plant trees under whom you will not going to sit and eat the fruits. Big wells whose water you will not going to drink, someone else will be drinking. You will be feeling more motivated. This is an intrinsic motivation. The first two was extrinsic survival, you know, incentive and rewards. Now there's a research intrinsic. People are more motivated by intrinsic motivation. Learn the new things. Good, do good for the society. Make your good missions, good visions of your life. Like you want to do, you will be always motivated. If you have those things in mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir. Indeed, it was a very wonderful session and very important tips you've shared with our students. They need to now practice them, and I'm sure all these tips are required by any young professional to be successful in the career as well as life. We are completely overwhelmed by your knowledge, which you were sharing, sir, with us on the subject, and of course, your ability to reach out to our students. I can see the response here, and if there are any other queries, I'll be sure to send them to you for the answers. You've given us food for thought, many buzzwords to our students. They'll now take time off and look into it further and get back to you in case they require your help. I'm sure the students have taken a note of it.
You
Then,
can connect me also, Dr. Zora, and other students connect me on LinkedIn. I am on the LinkedIn by name AFTAB Ahmed. You can connect me on LinkedIn. And
Done, sir.
if you have any problems related, see, I'm not a expert of everything, but if I don't know anything, I'll find it out for you. Uh, this is my LinkedIn, Aftab Ahmed. Connect me on LinkedIn. I will be flying, going back to UAE very soon. This semester, I'm teaching somewhere in India as well, and of course abroad. So I enjoy teaching, and I teach um, marketing and management subjects. And also, I'm a corporate professional who is into business still. So if you have any kind of issues related to jobs, entrepreneurship, please feel free to discuss with me. I am thankful to Dr. Zohra, to the management of BSS for inviting me and connecting with such beautiful students. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks, Dr.
thank you,
Zohra.
sir, on behalf of the entire department and the college, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, and the English department. Thank you so much for sparing time for our students. I feel that they now really need to look back and find out what they exactly want from their life. From the tips that you have shared with us, from the comprehensive PPT that we could see, there is a lot more to learn, I'm sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I